Look, I mean, NFC South this year, pretty weak. It was kind of weak last year, too. The Falcons, they might be decent. They might be your biggest competition to win this division. But Desmond Ridder takes over at quarterback, Bijan Robinson in at running back. So they're kind of a wild card in some respects. But in others, you're more talented. You should beat them. And then Tampa Bay going through a bit of fluctuation right now with, Tom Brady retiring, obviously. Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask playing quarterback. That team has a lot of talent. The question is, can it all mesh and gel together? That hasn't really been the case recently. So they're another team that has division-winning capability. And then Carolina, obviously Bryce Young, new quarterback, looked pretty good at the end of preseason, so some people are optimistic about what he could do. That defense, though, was rough last year. They're switching systems, switching their base defense, but I don't expect them to be really in contention, maybe for a little bit, but in terms of week 1 to week 17, in contention for the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints are the favorite in this division. The expectation for this team is to win this division. You've got the best quarterback in the division. You've got, I think, the most talent from 1 to 53 on this roster. I love what Dennis Allen has already built with this team, and they should be very, very improved from last season. Andy Dalton to Derek Carr is a massive upgrade, and you've got depth with Jameis Winston. You'll have to figure out the first 3 games of the season. That's kind of the one question mark, and it could be a bigger one. I mean, that suspension could have been worse. It's only 3 games, and you've got 17, obviously. So can you pick out a couple of wins early in the season there? Can you win 2 of the 3? Of course, winning all 3 would be great. But can you steal 2 of the 3 there without Kamara, who's going to really be missed because he's such a big part of this offense? Any offense he'd play in, he's a big part of it. And Derek Carr would love to have him to start his Saints career, obviously. But he'll have to make do with Kendre Miller and, Jamal Williams or somebody else that's in that running back room for the time being. And then when Kamara gets back, if you start 2-1, 3-0, you're looking good. And you can just cruise from then on, I think, to at least what's expected, a double-digit win season. 10-11 wins, I think, is bare minimum for this team this year. And then on defense, you got a lot of pieces. Defensive line's looking good. Linebacker, you've got your top 2 in DeMario Davis, Pete Werner. So from a top-heavy standpoint, you're looking good there. You need some depth, and depth might be your Achilles heel in some games, especially towards the end of the season. So that's why, we're not necessarily talking about this team as, being one of the best teams in the NFC, but certainly one of the more solid ones. Secondary, a couple, changes. You've got Alontae Taylor taking over at slot corner, and he looked good last year towards the end, but was a little shaky in preseason, so that's kind of a big role that he's stepping into. Really, you're kind of just young at a lot of different places, but you've got talent, experience, and others that should allow you to succeed. I think the offense is really going to lead the way, though. I just loved what I saw from the starters in the limited time they played in preseason. Derek Carr just manufactured an excellent drive in the opener against the Chiefs, and the opening drive of his career in New Orleans in that game, which is something that New Orleans struggled heavily with last year, was those opening drives. I think Juwan Johnson is a stud at tight end. He's going to be a real problem for opposing defenses this year. And then a wide receiver, you're loaded. I mean, Chris Olave, A.T. Perry, Michael Thomas, plenty of names there, plenty of playmakers that will make some things happen for you. Derek Carr has just got a multitude of people he can move and throw the ball to. He completed a lot of passes to a lot of different receivers in the preseason games too, like 4 or 5 different guys, just trying to build that chemistry up and get it going a little bit. So they failed to meet the expectations the past couple of years, but I'm setting the bar high this year because this is a team that should meet that bar with all the talent they have, all the experience they have, and when you think about the geographical friendliness of the NFC South, not from a geographic standpoint, but in terms of like how talented those teams are right now, you're the best team in the division. You should win the division and double-digit wins. Let me know what you guys have the expectation for from a personal standpoint for the Saints this year. But they begin the season against Tennessee on Sunday. We'll be plugged in, tuning in, of course. Should be a win. I'd go as far to say that. start the season out well. We'll see how they do without Kamara. That's kind of the biggest thing you're wondering about right now. But from week 1 to week 17, holistic look at the year, I expect the Saints to be really good and achieve at a high level.